But it was the crowds, their eyes, their awful eyes, that destroyed whatever remained of my faith. Whenever blood was spilled, citizens gathered as though drawn by some subterranean summons. Their expressions were not horrified, nor even surprised. Instead, they possessed an unsettling eagerness, a dark fascination that suggested violence was not merely witnessed, it was shared, as one might partake in an ancient rite. Their faces sometimes blurred in my weary vision, their features stretching into grotesque interpretations of humanity, each more monstrous in implication than appearance. I told myself these were illusions born of fatigue, yet the mind knows when it lies to itself. The night I broke came without ceremony. Two brothers, bound by blood yet consumed by fury, fell upon each other with feral intensity in the center of a narrow street. One wielded a bottle, jagged as a saw. The other clutched a kitchen knife whose gleam caught the street lamp like a star fallen into filth. I forced myself between them, my shouts echoing against indifferent walls, but the crowd pressed closer, encircling us in a suffocating ring. Their whispered breath rose in a low, undulating murmur that seemed to pulse in perfect unison with the beat of my terrified heart. When I finally restrained one man, his blood splattering my uniform, he spat at me with a hatred that seemed borrowed from some deeper source. "You should have let us finish," he hissed. "This is what our city is about." The cadence of that remark, its dreadful calm, its unsettling certainty, haunted me long after his voice faded. In the lonely hours of the morning, I heard that whispered truth seep through the cracks of memory until I could no longer silence it. The city did not merely allow violence, nor did it simply desire it. The people from top to bottom were bound by the bloodshed. The city could not function without the chaos. Any civility and order would be seen as the enemy that dared to destroy their way of life, their sense of identity, dare I say, community. I returned home that night nearly broken. The lights of my living room, soft, golden, achingly gentle, felt like an intrusion from another world, a place where innocence still dared to exist. My wife met my gaze with quiet sorrow and placed our infant daughter in my arms. As her small fingers curled trustingly around mine, I felt an ache so profound it bordered on spiritual collapse. "I cannot do this any longer," I whispered, my voice carrying the fragile remnants of my dignity. "I have tried. God knows I have tried, but the city refuses salvation. It devours every effort, every ideal, until nothing remains." My wife did not speak, for she could see the hollowness of a man witnessing the death of his purpose. I looked toward the window, where the distant skyline flickered with a faint, unnatural glow, like the phosphorescent pulse of some immense organism slumbering beneath stone and steel. I held my daughter closer, her warmth the last defense against the cold truth settling into my soul. "If the city wishes to feast upon itself," I murmured, "then I shall no longer stand between its jaws. Let it consume what it must, for I will waste no more of my life offering myself as its futile shield." I kissed my child's soft brow. "I only wish," I breathed, "that the city had wanted to be saved."